Here I am, know it's been a while.
With cold season fast approaching, are you looking for a natural boost to your immune system? Stay tuned for the benefits and the drawbacks of this popular herbal. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my pearls of advice, which I give you guys every Monday with my new videos. Are you wondering why you should trust me to answer all these questions? Well, I've been a pharmacist for 10 years, so trust me, I have experience finding answers to the most popular questions from my patients. I decided to do a video on elderberry just because I've really been seeing it everywhere. If you look at the back of the box on the supplements that you get or the teas that you buy, it says that they can improve your immune system, your blood pressure, they can act as diuretics, they can decrease uric acid levels, they can decrease inflammation. So there's really a huge number of possible benefits that people are touting when taking elderberry. So something I thought was really interesting is that there was actually an 150% increase in the sales of elderberry products going from 2019 to 2020. So during the COVID boom, there was just this huge increase of people who were interested in taking elderberry, primarily I think because of the positive effects it could have on your immune system. When I decided I wanted to do this topic on elderberry, I found a really great resource that I'm going to link below. So it was a systematic review that was posted or published in 2014. This review covers 14 different studies on elderberry, and they pool all of the studies together and then they analyze them to decide if the elderberry really was working for certain conditions. It was a really great study, and that's how I came up with the basis of this presentation. So next I'm going to go ahead and list 2 pros to using elderberry. And the number 1 pro for why you should take an elderberry supplement is because it stops the replication of certain strains of both influenza A and influenza B. If you start taking your elderberry supplement within 2 days of your symptom onset, the elderberry will decrease the severity of your influenza symptoms, and it will also decrease the duration of your influenza sickness as compared with placebo. Now, I thought that this was really interesting because that is saying that elderberry can actually be used to treat influenza. Now, when they do systematic reviews, they also give the evidence a certain grade. Now, for this evidence, they gave it a grade B, which means that there is good scientific evidence that elderberry in fact treats influenza. And the number 2 pro for taking a supplement with elderberry had to do with the outcome of sinusitis. So they found that patients who took an elderberry supplement with a decongestant and with an antibiotic had better outcomes and less severe symptoms than the patients who just took an antibiotic and a decongestant alone. Now, the grade of evidence for this was a grade C, and a grade C means that they had conflicting scientific evidence. Regardless, it still appears to me that from the evidence there is possible chance of the elderberry increasing your immune system. So for some patients, it really does seem like it could possibly be a preventative benefit to take an elderberry supplement. One thing I wanted to include is also the dose that they were using typically for the treatment of influenza in the systematic reviews, the studies they looked at. So most of the studies were dosing up to 4,000 milligrams a day of the elderberry for 3 to 5 days, and that was to treat the influenza. Do any of you guys out there know the poisoning you can get from the leaves, the bark, and the roots of the elderberry tree? Comment in the section below, and if you don't know, stay tuned because I'm going to cover that going forward. The number 1 con to taking an elderberry supplement is that there are no USP certified elderberry products, and I mean none. So there are no teas, no lozenges, no syrups, no gummies. Absolutely no product with elderberry has been certified with a USP certification. Now, the reason why I think this is so important is because with supplements, they are not controlled by the FDA. So that means that a manufacturer could take a tea and they could put sawdust in it and they could say that it was an elderberry tea because there is no control over the products. Now, that's why some manufacturers will pay to have testing done to get that USP certification on their products because they want to prove to consumers that whatever they say is in the product is actually present in the final product. So that is the huge downside with the elderberry products. And as far as the products that they use most commonly in the systematic review studies, they use a product that's called Sambucol. And so Sambucol is actually a syrup, And I guess that the syrup is made from berries in Europe, and they say that they follow some sort of it's like a European juice law. So they have standards that they're held to over in Europe. But I'm really not so sure how rigid those standards are and the full testing process that they go through over there. So again, no USP certification is really kind of a big deal to me. The number 2 con to taking an elderberry supplement is that elderberry has cyanogenic glycoside sambanigrin in it, which is a product that can actually lead to cyanide poisoning from the bark, from the roots, the leaves, and also unripened berries. So that is the whole reason why I really think that there needs to be some sort of testing on the products before you buy them, just for safety purposes. So I know there are a lot of you out there who are really going to be still very interested in trying the elderberry supplement out because it really has shown to treat influenza and also possibly prevent it. So if you're an otherwise healthy adult and you want to take a product, I found one that I would suggest that really has some other testing that I would be comfortable recommending to a patient. So the USP is definitely the gold standard for product testing, but the NSF is also another third party that comes in and they can test a product and certify what's in it. So I found an NSF certified product. It is the Ollie, and it's the maximum strength elderberry gummies. Now these gummies, they have 450 milligrams of elderberry per capsule, and you're going to take 2 of those capsules every day. So in total you're taking around 900 milligrams. Now if you remember, the dose that they were using to treat influenza was around 4,000 milligrams a day. So this is definitely a significantly lower dose. So I think this would be more along the lines for prevention. Now, the only thing I would say with this is that it does have sugar in it, so if you are going to take these Ollie gummies, you should definitely rinse your teeth off after you use it. Don't want you to get any cavities or anything like that. And for those of you who really want a higher dose and are looking more for treatment of influenza, you could look into the Sambucol. As I said before, I'm really not sure 100% what's in that product. There's no certification done, but the doses that they used on that were comparable to the doses they used in the studies. So if you want a more concentrated version for treatment, the Sambucol could be an option if you feel comfortable with that product. So if any of you guys out there do end up trying any of the products that I suggested for the elderberry supplements, make sure you guys let your primary care provider know you're doing that. And then I also think it's a really great idea to talk to your local pharmacist wherever you get your medications filled and have them just run a drug interaction report with the elderberry and your other meds just to double check that you're being 100% safe. The other thing I wanted to point out was, as far as the original question with the whole elderberry tea being effective, I really cannot suggest the elderberry tea because there are no teas out there that have any kind of certification of their products, and the dose that you're going to be getting in a tea is going to be nowhere near the dose that you need to either treat or to boost your immune system to prevent the influenza. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. Please subscribe if this channel was of any benefit to you, and also give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna have another video next Monday with more pharmacist pearls of advice, and also make sure you guys check out my video on Zicam, also another immune boosting medication you can take. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Go back home, go back home.